Sadly, Tuesday also marks the 5th anniversary of one of the deadliest school shootings in American history in Parkland, Florida. Rita Braver is in conversation with David Hogg, a Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School survivor who found his life's mission that dark day in February.
So it's been a long 5 years. A lot has happened.
Yes, it feels like a lifetime has gone by.
It was February 14th, 2018, when David Hogg, then 17, and other terrified students at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, sheltered in classrooms and closets as a 19-year-old gunman rampaged through their school.
I was really, really scared, and I kind of felt like the adrenaline rushed down my spine. But I immediately heard in the back of my head my dad's voice. If anything ever happens, you have to stay calm.
So we are all taking our time.
So locked down with other students, Hogg started recording videos in case they didn't survive.
We heard more gunshots, and that was when we realized this was not a drill.
Indeed, 17 people were murdered that day, 17 more injured.
Thank you for your prayers and condolences, but that is not enough.
Heartbroken, Hogg joined with fellow students like Emma Gonzalez, now known as X, to demand tougher gun laws.
He wouldn't have harmed that many students with a knife!
And they would build a national movement. March for Our Lives, their first protest in Washington, drawing some 800,000 people.
When politicians send their thoughts and prayers with no action, we say no more.
As one of the leaders of the movement, Hogg was praised and reviled. There were death threats.
Yes, many.
But he and his fellow students persevered, pressuring both state and federal lawmakers. Even in their home state, gun-friendly Florida, they helped get the gun purchase age up to 21, and a so-called red flag law that allows guns to be temporarily taken from people who make specific threats, like the one that was sent to David Hogg's mother.
And it said F with the NRA and you'll be DOA. So this person lived 20 minutes away from us. We used the law that we created after Parkland to disarm that individual, and because of the law that we passed, it very may well have stopped me from having to bury my own mother.
That's incredible.
Right? And that same law has been used over 6,000 times since Parkland.
Seeing these children stand up in a way that adults did not really touched a chord with a lot of people.
Yes, it is incredibly inspiring that we stood up, but young people having to stand up to not die in their classrooms is not a good sign. It's as good of a sign as a canary passing out in a coal mine is for our democracy.
In a way, it was almost like, let the kids do it.
100%. And that is time and time again one of the most incredibly frustrating things, probably the most insulting. It's all the people that we've had come up to us that say, my generation really screwed up, but we're glad that you kids are here to fix it. And just acting like they have no role in that.
It all took a toll. Now 22 and a Harvard senior majoring in history, Hogg is active but not full-time working for March for Our Lives. He told us for a few years he just felt numb. You have said that you have post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Mm-hmm. How are you?
Much better, thanks to therapy. My freshman year was really, really, really hard. And maybe you call it survivor's guilt, I don't know what it was, but it just didn't feel like I needed to address it because the movement was so important that I just sacrificed everything for it. So I had to just learn to say no and really focus on being a student, which was honestly, I think, the hardest thing that I had to learn in college.
Hogg believes the efforts of gun control advocates in getting scores of laws passed since 2018 have stopped some mass shootings. But he acknowledges they have still increased, some 600 just last year. And he is especially haunted by the tragedy in Uvalde, Texas, that surpassed Parkland, with 19 children and 2 adults killed. What goes through your mind? What goes through your heart as that's happening?
Guilt. It's a lot of guilt. We came out and we literally said never again. Obviously that didn't work, unfortunately.
But Hogg plans to continue advocating for more gun control when he graduates this spring, and he has a strategy. Do you see a model out there where there's something else that maybe people thought they'll never overcome the lobby?
Yes.
And that is?
Tobacco. The tobacco industry is exactly the model that I think of in terms of the decades of work that it will take to address this issue.
Look, I'm an American citizen. I'm a gun owner. I have a concealed carry permit. I carry a gun for protection.
He and members of his team may have been heckled on Capitol Hill by Marjory Taylor Greene, now a Republican congresswoman.
And you have nothing to say. No words.
But David Hogg believes that all Americans can and must come together to prevent more mass shootings.
We need to put our politics aside and get something done. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. We all have people that we care about, and none of us want gun violence to continue.